Hi, thank you for all coming. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. And would you please stand and join me in doing the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. All right. Superintendent Freeman.
Yeah, actually, well, welcome everyone. This is always exciting. Our first night when we get to recognize our outstanding students and see all the students and parents in the crowd. I hope you have an enjoyable night. Not too many corrections. Poor Jan had to put up with several corrections right up to the 11th hour for the meeting, but you will see it in red. I do have a reminder that we are changing format a little bit this year with the cats. We're going to take the photo after everybody's been announced with the board. And then we have some page numbers that were changed also.
Okay. I believe we are going to move on to the elementary school report with Austin and Olivia.
Good evening. Austin and I are here again to tell you about the happenings at Glide on. At the end of September, 6th grade took a trip to Prairie Lake. The day was a sunny day, despite there being a chill in the air. We hiked the 1.1-mile Fleetwood Cove Trail. After spending time at the water's edge, we climbed back up and enjoyed our lunch in the well-deserved break. Next, we went to Rim Village, where we rotated 3 learning stations that included sketching Crater Lake, doing a reader's presentation of how Crater Lake was done, and visiting Senate Memorial Open. Due to upcoming trail maintenance on Fleetwood Cove Trail, most of us will be at least 15 years old before we can go on the trail. This evening and all day tomorrow, our teachers are conferencing with parents and students. You'll find amazing work lining our hallways and in our classrooms. The library is hosting a book fair for families to purchase books to enjoy at home. Our leadership team would like to thank Mr. Dwight and Mr. Smith for allowing us to host a bake sale during the home volleyball game against Douglas. We were able to earn over $500 for our group. The money that we raise goes to the events throughout the year and annual leadership retreat. We'd like to thank our maintenance director, Brett Harvey, for his leadership in our recent construction project at elementary. The project joined 2 of our modular buildings, creating a breezeway between them that gives all students and staff who have class in the buildings access to additional supports and access to shared restrooms. Do you have any questions? Thank you for having us tonight. We appreciate your support and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Okay, now we have the middle school report from Audrey.
Thank you. Okay. Our house, paper, rock, scissors competition took place last week. Students received a house color necklace and are to challenge students to a game of paper, rock, scissors. The goal is to collect necklaces of opposite houses for points. Students with 5 or more necklaces can challenge a staff member for a gold necklace that is worth more. At the end of the week, we held an assembly, and any students with 5 or more necklaces challenged each other to a game of proof deck, and the chance to win a gold necklace worth 20 house points. Guy Robinson beat out this competition and won that necklace and earned 20 points for Amistad. Carter Ramirez with Amistad won first place for collecting the most necklaces. House of Amistad took it all home for the 2nd year in a row. Congratulations to Amistad. Middle school dance is on October 29th. This is a black light neon and the theme is out of this world. Along with our Dress Up Week, Monday, Dress Like a Star, Tuesday is neon themed in honor of breast cancer awareness. Wednesday is Neon Day, and Thursday will be Halloween costumes and a costume contest. Our first edition of the Junior Wildcat Journal was published recently. I have a copy for each of you to enjoy, and I will pass it out after this. Sports. Fall sports are nearly done. It's been a great season of learning for the Glide Middle School with new head coaches in football and volleyball. The volleyball team honored their eighth graders at their final game on Monday, finishing the season with a 3-5 record. The football team has their last final game of the season next Tuesday at North Douglas, unless we can reschedule our game against Ritter. The cross-country team is competing in Cottage Grove's Bramble Scramble this Saturday, their final regular meet of the season. The boys has done well this season, and the girls team consistently has multiple finishers in the top 10. We can't wait to see how they do at districts on the 23rd. Middle school boys basketball will start October 22nd. Any questions?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, we're now going to hear the high school student report from Clara and Aubrey.
Good evening, members of the school board, staff, and community. My name is Clara Kircher, and this is Aubrey Goff. And I am here on behalf of our high school leadership team to share some exciting updates from the past few weeks. Homecoming week was a huge success. Each day featured creative dress-up teams, fun after-school events, spirited assemblies that brought our school together. Product Cup and men were definitely highlights for me. Friday night's football game was packed with energy as we celebrated Peace Out by night in the bonfire after the game. And of course, found our homecoming queen from this year's senior class. Our Out of This World theme dance on Saturday was the perfect way to end the week. Students filled the gym with excitement, and participation across all grades was the best we've seen in years, showing how much our school spirit has grown. Earlier today, we also had a good special event on the elementary school campus. Jesse Jackson from the Cow Creek Band of Uncle Pride visited to share about native culture and the history of Pride Fire. His talk also included ceremonial songs and blessings, and afterward, Glide Fire and our own Glide Fire Science Group held a field burn demonstration. There's both fun and education, a great learning experience for everyone who attends. Looking ahead, both high school and middle school leadership are teaming up to revamp our annual canned food drive. Our goal is to boost school spirit while supporting members of our community. A great way to show that Wildcats care. Glide High School golf sports are also wrapping up. Varsity football team ranked 18th in state with a 4-2 record. We have planned to send a Rooter bus to the varsity football game this Friday at Buckley, so our students can cheer up on. Girls soccer and volleyball will be honoring their seniors at their final home games on October 22nd, and will finish their seasons on the road. Cross country is having a great season. Run Cottage Grove this Saturday before the district meet on the 30th. A boys team is small, which is a rebuilding after losing a large district. The girls team is currently ranked in state according to athletic.net, and state coaches sport. High school winter sports again November 7th. Thank you for your time and continued support for our students and programs.
Thank you.
Chair Adabay, can I add to that, please? Can I add to one of those stories?
Oh, please do.
All right, thank you, girls. That was excellent. I want to add to the fire, the burn today, and give a shout out to tribal member Jessica Jackson again. I know some of you attended last year, and this year the turnout was almost double. And the ceremony was great. That some of our students that participated in blessing the land, our fire science students, they were blessed before they lit the fire. And the news review was there, so we should get a nice article there. But Jesse also spent time during the day speaking to our fifth grade class, all three of our fifth grade classes, and talking about fire, Native American culture, why fire is so part of the Native American culture. So he didn't have to do that. I just want to give a shout out to him and the tribe for allowing him to do that. And what a great event that Mr. Shaw and everybody put together to bring this community together.
That's awesome. Love it. Love it. Okay, so folks, we have changed things up a little bit, from our SB awards. We just thought, things needed to be updated a little bit. So it is now called the CATS Award. So, and that stands for Character, Achievement, Teamwork, and Success. So character, show respect, responsibility, and integrity in all settings. Achievement is strive for excellence in academics and personal growth. Teamwork, work together with peers, teachers, and community for shared goals. And success, build habits that lead to lifelong learning and achievement. So the mission is to recognize students monthly for exceptional performance in all areas at school. Students who receive this award have been selected by school staff because they have demonstrated exceptional attendance, exceptional behavior, and have performed exceptionally well in the classroom for the month. So I'm just going to briefly read the criteria. So candidates demonstrate respect and responsibility by being in class and on time. Candidates demonstrate respect and responsibility to others by having no behavior incidents. Candidates demonstrate respect and responsibility by getting homework in on time, participating and being attentive in class and doing their best. Candidates demonstrate the following traits: strong academic growth, incredible work ethic, a positive attitude, kind-hearted nature, and the desire not to only push themselves, but to help others succeed. All right, and with that, we'll get started.
Emma is a thoughtful, compassionate, ambitious, and motivated individual who is constantly working towards ensuring her success as well as encouraging those around her. I look forward to witnessing the positive impact she makes on the world. Josh Shaw. Josh is a perfect example of what it means to be a wildcat. He shows strong character through his respect, integrity, and the positive way he handles challenges. His curiosity and effort in class reflect true achievement, as he's always looking to grow and understand more. Josh is the kind of student who brings people together. His humor, kindness, and encouragement make him a natural at teamwork. And whether it's learning in class or chasing his next steelhead, he shows his steady persistence that leads to success. Braden Weaver. Braden has jumped right into life as a wildcat, fits in like he's been here all along. He shows great character by being kind, respectful, and dependable. Braden's hard work and positive attitude really show in academic setting. He's a team player who's already building the habit that will help him lead high school and beyond. Kendra Carter. Kendra has been making great progress in all parts of CAT. She shows great character by being respectful, responsible, and honest. Her achievement stands out because she has shifted her priorities and entering high school, knowing her boundaries and striving for academic success through her choices. With strong teamwork skills and a focus on success, Kendra is building great habits that will help her keep growing and reaching her goals.
Connor O'Brien Macaulay. Connor has truly stepped up this year. He is a respectful and responsible young man who is always willing to lend a hand to help a fellow student. His focus and attention to his academics have greatly improved since last year, and he recently aced the science test with a perfect score of 40 out of 40. Connor has what it takes to be successful not only as a wildcat, but also as a constituous member of the community. Keep up the great work, Connor. Go Cats. Eliana Bean. Eliana is an integral and wonderful part of every classroom she steps foot in, demonstrating not only academic success, but great personal character. Eliana works hard and is a fantastic listener. She is respectful, responsible, and has shown nothing but kindness to everyone around her. She is a great addition to our CATS community, and we are so glad she's here. Maverick Gomes. Maverick is a sixth grader with integrity, a strong work ethic, and a leader by example. You can count on Maverick to make great choices in any situation. He is a hard worker who pushes himself and inspires the people around him to do the same. His good nature and kindness are contagious. Piper Miller. Piper is kind-hearted and friendly, but she also is constantly demonstrating a positive attitude and a strong work ethic. She sets high standards for herself and works diligently to meet them. Piper takes the initiative, correct even small mistakes, and isn't afraid to ask for help when needed. She ensures that her assignments are accurate and submitted on time, reflecting her attention to detail and responsibility. In class, Piper is focused, engaged, contributes thoughtful insights into discussions. He's a true example of dedication and positivity. Elena Barron. Elena Barron has been an exceptional addition to our school. She has an incredible work ethic and a positive attitude. Her commitment to her studies is matched by her kindness and willingness to assist her classmates. She always has a smile on her and eagerness to participate in class discussions. Elena is a shining light that will only get brighter with time. Hayden Furlong. Hayden shows her bobcat. Oh, Hayden Furlong. Yay! Hayden shows her bobcat pride by being hardworking, caring, and ready to learn. She makes sure that she finishes all assignments, homework, and in class to be the best of her ability. She's a caring friend when she's concerned about other students. She'll always check up on them or come to me to have a check on them. She's a great friend to have in your corner. She always is ready to learn. When I ask students to get ready for the next activity, she's one of the first students ready. Hayden always shows that she is a true bobcat. Maylee Batten. Maylee has got her second grade year off to an amazing start. She is quiet, helpful, positive, and a leader in her classroom. She comes every day to school with a smile on her face and a ready to go mindset of an eager learner. Maylee encompasses many character traits that are going to make her successful as a learner, but also as a citizen in our community, state, and world. She not only wants to improve herself, but is always willing to lend a hand to others and is right there lifting up and celebrating others to be successful. Congratulations, Maine. Keep up the awesome job. Bailey Vatler. Wait. Oh yeah, I do. Jace Rogers. Jace is an exceptional first grader who consistently demonstrates a strong work ethic, kindness, and leadership within our classroom. He approaches every assignment with focus and determination. Always striving to do his very best, Jace not only completes all of his homework and classwork with great care, but he also shows a genuine love for learning that shines through in everything he does. Hayden Halter. Hayden was chosen as our Cats of the Month because he truly exemplifies what it means to be a model student. Hayden is one of the most well-behaved students in his class. I can always count. This is written from his teacher's perspective. So I can always count on him to follow expectations and set a positive example for others through his actions. From the very first day of school, Hayden has demonstrated outstanding behavior without needing reminders. He constantly shows initiative, is eager to help, and takes pride in his roles as our line monitor on class blocks. Hayden always puts forth his best effort, both academically and socially. His dedication to doing his best and desire to be an excellent student makes him an excellent role model for his peers. Hayden is everything you hope for in a student, respectful, responsible, and always ready to lead by example.
Oh, yeah. I just want to take a second to thank all the students that came up and read all the bios of all of our other students. Thank you for doing that. That was amazing. Good leadership skills. And we're taking a brief little break, as you can see. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Oh, there you go. Now we're talking. Notch on the SWAT. On the street for that. That one.
Okay, well, hard pass on all that.
There, that's Roseburg, not us.
So the- Nothing we want here. Nope. So let's not even. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and reconvene. I know everyone's kind of valuable, so we'll just get right back to it. So we're moving on to approval of consent agenda. And anybody that we need to. Okay. Yes, to this one.
Knife River donated lights for a bonfire.
Oh, that's awesome.
The lights went out, but
Right. That's the night with the lights went out. Yeah. So. I have that song on Final Simple. Myself. Okay. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. I move to approve the consent agenda as.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
I,
Motion passes. All right, don't see. Say it. Okay, we are moving on to action discussion items. So Division 22 standards report.
all right. As you are well knowledgeable about, November 1st marks the time of the year where school district superintendents are required by OAR 581-022-2305, district assurance of compliance with public school standards, to report to their community on the district status with respect to all of the standards for public elementary and secondary schools. The standards are adopted by the State Board of Education and set out in Oregon Administrative Rules, Chapter 581, Division 22, thus the Division 22 standards. My team and I went through each of these standards, and historically, Clyde has always had a perfect record on meeting these standards. Unfortunately, this past year, we did have a blemish. And so I want to direct your attention to the third page under the category Aligned and Focused Educational Systems. And it's the third one down. It's OAR 581-022-2100, Administration of State Assessments. And we had to report that we were out of compliance. And how we were out of compliance is because the standard is that we publicly post that we're going to begin state testing at least 30 days ahead of time. We did post ahead of testing time, but we missed the 30-day mark. So our corrective action is we're going to make sure we post that before the 30 days. Other than that, the Clyde School District is compliant and all the other Division 22 standards. I don't know, after that. Do you remember how many it is? I know there was discussion that we thought we did it, and we even had John look back on our parents were posting, but we had missed the deadline. I can get that out to you. relatively later, but very fall out. I suspect if we continue this over and over, that somebody will have a word with me, but I suspect this is pretty.
And that by Paula, that was like from student parents.
Oh, no, not on that. No, when you said fallout. I
That's who I
meant
care about.
thank you. In that arena, the answer is there. Okay, that was just a discussion. item, so.
Yeah.
Any further questions? And Director Holland, I can certainly find that. Yeah.
Thank you for narrowing that down.
Yes, yes, he narrowed that right down for us.
All right.
All right.
Policy update?
Yep. So as you recall, 4 times a year, we get updates from OSBA on policy revisions. Some come in as recommended, some highly recommended. Some come in as optional, and some come in as required. So in this case, we sat down and we looked at them, and the changes were not that significant. So I didn't feel like it required our board members to come in and do those. But you all have an opportunity after the first reading to look them over, and if you have questions, certainly bring those forward. We can answer them before the second. But today is the first reading, and what I thought I would do, Chair Atabey, is I would go through each of these first, and then you could entertain the motion to accept the policies on first reading and then have a discussion, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Speed it up a little bit. Okay, the first one is policy DEEA. And that's clarification on our budget committee. And what that policy, the addition is that at least one member of the budget committee must be a member of our district's educational equity advisory. So currently we have equity advisory in both of our buildings. And moving forward, we'll have to ensure that one member on the budget committee gets those meetings. That's the only addition to that one. So, John, let me go, should we just do one at a time or? One at a time? Okay. So we'll need a motion. Accept that on first reading, and I'll have a discussion.
Okay, well, I would entertain a motion to accept the EDEA policy on first reading. It's on. Well, then we got to move on to discussion. Second. Okay, is there any discussion?
Yeah. Yes, and there is. Yes, there's some discussion. Now, on those members, so as the budget committee consists of the school board and our committee. Right. And are the principals also on that committee? Or they're not part of the budget. So somebody is going to have to do that if we accept it. Or
She, do we have a equity? Who's on that?
you want to talk about who's on your parent? You about that. You want to know specifically who's on there?
Oh, so are they're separate? Or
We've-
it's all
we've combined
together?
ours, yes, instead of having another meeting.
Yeah,
Both of their agendas, address equity issues within their schools. So we need to let it that along.
okay. So you just need one of us to be part of that.
not necessarily you guys, it could be a budget committee patron also. I think. Site council, thank you. Site council. And didn't you? Is it Gilbert that's in your site? I thought you said last year there was a budget committee on your site. So we'll have to,
So the option that, if I'm hearing this right, is either one of the current budget committee members would agree to be on one of the, whatever that, constitute. That we move to equity advisory committee, or one of us needs to. Those are what we would.
and, how often does the educational equity advisory? Once a month. So, that's quite a bit more.
Give it,
And when is the meeting on that? What time? Is it during school?
said like Thursday or what is it? Do you know?
So if you could just give us your questions and then we'll answer them before the second reading, is that okay? Well, there's a third option. Says. Third option, have a budget and open somebody who's on site campaign. Where they can jump on to the budget. So there's a-
So, and my other question was, is this a requirement?
It's not, it's highly recommended.
Ah,
That's
Okay.
kind of-
Yes,
To John's point, like, are we required to do this?
Yeah.
Or do we say we've got enough representation that?
yes, that was what I was wondering. Are recommended.
I mean, I like the pathway that if we had an opening, so to Dan's point, that it could be somebody off the site council that is asked first, but are we gonna be in any difficulties if we can't get somebody from those groups to be on the budget committee?
I don't believe there's going to be somebody who turns this into. A budget committee member on our equity committee. Well, I know, but if we don't put it in our policy, then. No. That's my. Do we want to put it in the policy? Or should we recommend it? Change the wording.
Could we, instead of the must, can we reframe that word for must?
Your policies, you can do what you want to do. And those are all things you could do on the second reading before you approve or not approve the policy. This is just for discussion. First reading. Last time we had lots of people.
I'd like to know. It's better to be thought of fool, or thought of fool than speak and remove all doubt, so I'm gonna speak. I don't know about the Educational Equity Advisory Committee. What value do they bring to the table with the budget committee? And anybody got a thought on that?
Yeah, so I think the reason that's in there is because you want your budget committee informed on things that are happening in the district, and as a budget committee, you allocate and appropriate funds to ensure that certain things happen in the district. So having that lens of what's happening on site council, what's happening in the school, I think it's just a valuable piece, and I think that's what they're trying to do is try to bring those.
What is the mission statement for the Educational Equity Advisory Committee?
Director Shaw, I'd have to get that to you, have that off the top of my head.
Thank you.
what if they just like gave us a report? we were part of it, Frederick County. So we gave us a report. And we submitted. Mhm. It's fine.
So that you have to have it by September 15th. Second. No, ours needs to be in place by, because of our size, for 15th of 2025. We're actually counting that.
So first step would be that we would designate, right, that the site councils also serve as the equity advisor.
So we've already done that.
So that's done.
So the question you're grappling with is, do you want to mandate that there's a budget committee member on one of those committees?
I definitely see the connection. It's just so much harder for smaller districts to have that be a mandate if it's not an actual Oregon mandate. But it doesn't mean that we still could have.
Well,
Yep.
it's a great idea if that, but with this policy.
Yep.
So,
Right, and I can see that possibly, put language in there that the budget, that a member of the budget committee rotate and not be the same person every month. You don't have to go to one meeting, which would probably be better for the entire budget.
Or a representative of the budget committee.
Yeah.
But if you want to know what you're saying.
Yeah, I think. Crazy.
I see where this is going.
Thanks, Doug.
later, or you could have done the motion now if you wanted to.
I think that's a,
Still don't approve it until the second.
yeah. So we could amend with the new language, and I would insert that. Motion with the new language.
As I said, we could have said it was recommended. Recommended that a member of the budget committee, state. Basically, we take out at least one member of the budget committee must say recommended back. But
Well, and that can also happen before we approve it on the second.
Yeah, and then give us some time to look at it. If we approve it for the first reading, we can look at it. Maybe we'll decide that that's what we should do. Couldn't be. But I don't want to be. I've already talked about it enough. Let's vote.
But let me,
what the motion was to approve the plan. No. That was the law. You're gonna amend the motion, right?
right, but that motion would be withdrawn. Or voted then.
Can we withdraw?
I
Big way.
I remember that.
feel like we can. That's really nice, but
Way back. I never had that thing. Oh, yeah. I know, 98%.
Madam Chair, I withdraw the motion.
acknowledge and noted.
We're really focusing on that one sentence in the part. Yeah. Paragraph, right? You got- Just wanna know what else.
So then we could, table this till next meeting and come back around it. I'm counting that we will have wordsmith this by then. Neat.
We can convene a policy committee.
Okay. Right. So.
So should we do that before we go through all these, or what do you think?
I didn't have a problem.
All right, let's try it.
Okay.
Next one. Okay. All right, the next one.
Virtual public vote.
On the virtual public schools, that one is highly recommended. And that one is changing the language where it says that basically if a district's population is less than 3% attending a virtual charter school, you have to approve their attendance. Once you meet your 3% threshold, you have to deny a family's request to attend the virtual charter school. That one's conditionally required. I don't know what that means. All right, summary is the State Board of Education adopted changes to that OAR on the process for parents to provide notice about enrolling their students in a virtual public charter school and a district's response. The changes are reflected in policy LBA, denial for virtual public charter school student enrollment. So my brief reasons. Currently, right now, we have the option of saying yes or no if it goes above the 20%. I read it. And whatever is that after we hit that 3% trigger, yeah, after. Put the new
OSD condition required. If the school board offers a specific program or service that triggers them to adapt to the policy. Unlike policies that are always required by law, a conditionally required policy only becomes necessary if the district chooses to take certain action. Yes, that's just so out of order.
or close. 40 students.
Maybe what is- Thoughts about, I think I could say 40%. The desire to go to a public charter school is not sponsored by the. The arts and the have. Oh. State that. Probably. And. Home book was over downtown. More than 3% out of the 3%.
So this came after, schools started going back into session after COVID. Many school districts, small school districts found that a lot of their students weren't returning back to school. And so this bill was passed to kind of force the public. I don't know the right. And. So, no. And what if the kids don't come to school because they then. And you know. Haven't seen you, there's really no consequence. Right. Tell them, no, you lose it forever. Yeah.
Why would we have to, I don't understand the point of that.
Well, it's money, that's
Well-
what I suppose,
That's why I was gonna ask, though,
Yeah.
what's the financial connection?
up 10 grand.
We lose?
Oh, I totally get that. I'm just saying, like, if I was a parent. That's what we're trying to do. And then. The district told me no. You're like, well, what did I get? Figure yourself out.
Right.
You don't get the point. Yeah. You know, that one thing.
I understand, school choice, homeschool or whatever. But I understand. Yes, I don't, I don't like the hind cuts. That come with that. It's almost a necessity with. If half our schools decide to do that, there's no way we can support. Financially support this facility. And staff. So people have got to figure this out, but I don't know about. Wrapping their arm up behind their back. I think at least in this committee, you
I
might,
really
it's
appreciate
like a little kid telling them, no, you can't do that. They're gonna go do it. Just
I
to show you the
appreciate-
kid.
I appreciate the board's approach with that, is changing the culture of the word families want numbers. And that's where we really need to spend our energy. Not build policies. that change things. That's the problem.
I would ask. Someone, that's just the case. But. With the consequence of not accepting. If there's a consequence.
Of not updating it.
Correct.
So I think the consequence is you go back to your old language, which gives us an option of saying.
I know, I'm just, there can be financial tie that. Why?
Right.
Sure we're not.
No, I'm not heard that.
Okay.
You could make this policy just die by. They were, say no, that's.
I don't want to put complicate this further, but our current policy does actually say that when the established percentage is more than 3%, the district will not approve of it. Student enrollment. Such a virtual public charter school.
Okay, so we already have this policy.
It's just the language that you see there in gray is what they're suggesting as the changes. Janine Markley in our office is the probably want to speak to this, but she does all the reporting. Her concern with this policy was that a lot of these are very gray. So a student may be a member of or belong to the white school district and has never attended one. We've been homeschooled and we don't know if they even need to look at this. So she said there's just a lot of areas of this policy that really difficult to do account.
That's not quite accurate. So virtual schools have to notify the resident school district before they enroll. Okay, let's,
If I could make one more point before you go. I see the 3% as a random number. Unless there's some, to me, the 3% is a random number until. Okay, well, just because it has, doesn't mean it's right. That is my point. Not to be contrary with me. But there is a number that should be able to be calculated is when is our budget get damaged enough through this, what percentage of loss can we have where we can't do business anymore? Is what I'm saying. And that would be the percentage, if we're gonna do something like that, that should be the percentage where we don't wanna take any more loss. Maybe it is 3%, maybe it's 2, maybe it's 12. Might be. So that is a problem I see with this policy. And that's what our current policy said. I don't have a problem with that.
Do we just need to reconvene our policy committee?
Two, you can go for 50%.
I mean, they could question one of my questions now. We currently have two policies.
Well, how would we like to do this? So we're being useful of our most expedient and efficient with our time here tonight. Yeah, tell me what that schedule looks like. That's. John and I were on the policy committee before, right? But maybe somebody else. Definitely not. I'm leaving next week. I'm gonna be gone, so after the OSBA, I'll not be available for like the, summer. Unless we meet, next Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
I will supervise to the help there at the end. So, that can work travel there. I'm not doing it. Okay.
So is there urgency? If we, if, to the regular. Okay.
Yeah, me too. I mean, once I hit November, then. After the OSBA conference. I'm freed up. All right, so it sounds like we're tabling all policy updates. That sound correct? Till December, is what I meant, that we will make the decisions, reconvene the policy committee, November, and have this on the agenda for December. All right. Hey. I promise we don't need to be difficult.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
I had thought I brought this to you earlier, and in my head, I did this, so if this is redundant, I apologize, but we don't have any record of you approving this MOU. I am presenting to you an MOU from the board and, Glide Education Association, also teacher organization. Current language, states that we owe teachers a check, the July check, which is filed on the last day that they work. And then later in the month, we give them a June check. With a end of May payroll, that puts an added burden on our business department, so they're doing checks in May, beginning of June. We met with the association and asked if we could remove that language and just do both the June and July check during the same time as the June check. And so the MOU that's on page 17, that's presented in front of you, changes the wording in the CBA that skips that last day of they actually work to the roughly the 23rd of June. We approve that, and I will sign it. It's already brought it to the members. So.
Madam Chair, I move to, I'm not looking at you guys. I move to accept the Article 13 economic provision MOU between the Glide Education Association and Glide School District as presented.
Wow. Okay, any discussions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right, let me say we talk about something fun.
Yeah.
All right, if you can direct your attention to the screen behind. Zoe's gonna pull up a PowerPoint. All right, I'll bet it wasn't weeks before I was hired as superintendent. Several people in the district and the community approached me about why doesn't Glide have its own arena? And that's it. I said, I don't know of any schools in Western Oregon that has a arena, but kind of sounds cool. The more I got to know this community, the more I understood what that question meant. Like, this community, lots of things happen around an arena. And hopefully I'm going to be able to hit on some of those things. Brent Harvey, with his experience in the rodeo industry, kind of made him the point person on what would it look like if we had an arena in our district? Are arenas even available? How do we purchase that? How do we get it here? Anyway, he's done a ton of research and has happened to find a used arena that meets our needs. Having an arena in the Glide School District directly supports the strategic plan in several different ways. The most impactful is under student engagement. The arena can hit so many different groups and organizations, from our marketing classes, to finance classes, to ag mechanics classes, to our FFA, to almost virtually any organization that needs a space to utilize that. See it behind me, that's good sign. It also directly impacts our parent family engagement, which ties into our community. And the list of opportunities is endless, and I'm not going to tell you all those opportunities because I'm sure you have some in your head that I don't even have. It not only supports the students and the Glide School District, it would support our community. I think most importantly, adding an arena to our organization would make Glide a destination, which right now many of our organizations have to go places to use. This is an example. Our OSET group has to find a private place to practice, and all of their competitions are somewhere else. How cool would that be? Okay. So the next slide is going to show you the location that we're proposing to add the arena. And it is directly across the parking lot from the football field. So if you envision yourself pulling into the football field, where people park, east of that property, our property. Have ample property for full development. Our property would allow for 360-degree driving. So trucks that are pulling long stock trailers wouldn't have to back up or try to do a pinpoint maneuver to turn around. We are designing the project with future in mind. So to give you an example of what we're talking about there is, our vision is to have a full arena with bleachers, crow's nests, timing apparatus, VIP seating, food truck lot, restrooms, concession, and team rooms. In order to get to that vision, which is in the future, but hopefully not too distant future, we need to make sure as we prepare the land, the ground, that we include the infrastructure for those things. So adequate draining is essential. Making sure that we have water, sewage, power, all that is plumbed and ready to go. Our initial plan doesn't call for lights, but in the future. That would be kind of cool, right? So we, especially as we get into the winter months, when it gets dark early, we can rent these events. So we want to make sure that we plumb that, put in. So we are a group of people looking at all this, making sure that we try not to miss anything. I'm sure we'll probably miss something. The goal is not to miss. Said to miss out. Okay, so. This is almost 100%, actually it's not, it's missing a lot, but this shows you the size of the arena. This is the actual arena that I'm proposing that we purchase. If you look at this, our vision is, I'll take this with me, is that we would have calf pins and steer pins on both sides. Barrel racing would come out the ends. Our bucking chutes would be across. So you're looking across. There are extra panels that come with this. The beauty of this structure is it's square tubing, not rectangle tubing. By the way, it is 6 feet tall, which meets the ultimate threshold for safety and our insurance. The kids can weld, our kids can weld square tubing much better than round tubing. So it does come with extra panels, but our kids could make extra panels. Or if there's a repair that needs to be done, our students can do that also. All right, well, stealing my thunder. Okay. Fucking treats. I want you to envision 6 different donors on each of those chutes and the ropes tied to it and the cowboy nodding the hat and pulling the gate open. Coming out of the chutes. So that'd be cool. But that's what the bucking chutes look like. I talked about the extra panels. I talked about the ability for our students to prepare for adding panels. This package comes with 2 trailers. This is a picture of the 30-foot trailer. On this trailer hauls the bucking chutes, the stripping chute, lead up each side, and the steer chute. So 30-foot trailer gets pretty heavy. That's tell you where all this equipment is. Well, let me get to that in a little bit. It also comes with a 40-foot trailer. The 40-foot trailer is designed to haul the panels. The rack is already built onto the trailer. So this trailer would be filled with all of the panels that we saw. All right. Problem is, the arena is in Knoxville, Tennessee. You geography people, you could probably already pick out that that's a long ways from White Oregon. So the challenge has been, how do we get this arena from Knoxville to Blythe? When things happen serendipitous, things just happen and they happen for a reason. There's so many things that are happening that we can't explain. I keep trying to give Brent all the credit for it because it's his connections that are making this happen. But the person who owns the arena has a worker that has a truck who his wife has family in Corvallis. And for a fee, I'll get to that in a minute, he and his wife are willing to hook up to a 30-foot trailer, drive it across the United States, deliver it in Blythe, and then he and his wife are going to enjoy a vacation with the wife's family in Corvallis. Serendipitous. So we met with Bob Murray on a couple board members' suggestions. Bob has a group of brokers in his office that they do this for a living and looked at all kinds of alternative ways to get the 40-foot trailer to us. And Rose, who became our kind of direct contact, worked diligently to try to find us our best options. There was really nothing that jumped out at us. And we were getting quotes anywhere between. Well, let me back up. So to get the 30-foot trailer to Oregon is $8,000, what they want to charge us. I'm gonna have a slide here that shows all that, so you don't be writing all that. To get the 40-foot trailer here, because of the size and the weight, it's gonna go more than that. We were looking anywhere between $12,000 and $16,000 to get that trailer here. So Brent, again, his wisdom, looked at our current inventory. We have a truck that we use to haul our dump trailer to the dump. I don't know if any of you were at board meetings where that was a discussion where we changed from a sanitation service to doing our own dump service. So we bought a dump trailer and we bought a truck, and that has saved the district thousands and thousands of dollars. Brett did some really conservative calculations, and over that period of time, that move has saved the district roughly $45,000 to $50,000. I'm only telling you that because that system requires a larger truck to move that dump trailer. That our current truck that we own has a lifespan of about 3 to 5 years. Probably more than that because we don't use it very often, but it's really at the point where in the near future, the district's gonna have to look at replacing that. So Brent goes online and looks at options of trucks on the East Coast. He finds one in South Carolina. I'm gonna show you here in a minute. You've probably already seen a picture of it. Serendipitous, the gentleman that owns that truck, he and his buddies were the founding fathers of PBR. And they are huge rodeo advocates. And he's like, whatever we need to do to help your school district get an arena to put together a high school rodeo team, we're gonna do it. So at first, he offered to drive the truck, pull in the 40 to go up to Knoxville, pick up the trailer, drive it across. He was going to Astoria, right? Why he was gonna fly his wife into Portland. They were gonna vacation in Astoria. That fell through, but he has a worker that he's offered to hire to us to drive the truck for a very reasonable mileage fee and per diem and hotel costs, and then a flight back to South Carolina. So my proposal to the board is a package. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Here's a picture of the truck. This is the exact same truck we have, just a much newer model. It's in excellent shape. For the little bit that we drive it, this will last the district for years, beyond all of us in this room. This would be a tremendous upgrade for the district. Okay. Pricey. The arena package, which remember includes the 30-foot trailer and the 40-foot trailer, the price is $70,000. Sidebar there is this is by far the most inexpensive arena that we found, and also in probably the best shape that we found. To have the 2 trailers that come with that are significant. I'll get into that in a little bit. And then meeting all those things I talked about, how the kids can work on the extra travels and stuff. The transportation for the 30-foot trailer to drive it across the United States is going to be $1,000. Yeah, that's the family that's going to drive it over here on vacation in Corvallis. And I'm sure they're going to pick up a backhaul and technical transportation there, but anyway, that's what it's going to cost to get the 30-foot trailer. The 40-foot trailer is only going to cost us $2,200 because we're buying a truck from the guy. So he's making us a very good deal with his work there. At a really low per mileage rate, and per diem, hotel costs, flight back. And that estimate is $2,200. The truck is $27,000. And so the total amount of this package is $107,200. we do not have a need for either of the trailers. And so we very conservatively priced that if we were gonna sell the trailers, that we could sell the 30-foot trailer for $10,000. And the 40-foot trailer, Brent says I'm way low on this, but I put this $15,000. And then if we sell our old truck, again, Brent says I'm low on this, $10,000, that's $35,000 coming back to us, making this whole package of an arena and upgrading our truck for about $72,000. With that, I'd entertain a motion, so you can start asking me questions about this.
I will totally entertain a motion.
Well, I move that we go ahead. That's the fact.
Is that the motion for the?
Yes,
Yeah, I think he
I-
was saying that he makes a motion.
I
to-
second it.
Yeah, great.
I wasn't sure if that was a statement or
Yeah,
I
a
move,
motion.
yeah.
Okay,
okay. Discussion.
Fire away. Brent is here to answer questions.
I'm sure you guys have covered, but I don't know. Right.
Right. There are two different issues going on. Want me to take a stab at it? Or you got- okay. The first one is they're self-insuring because it's his truck. He's making the money on that, so he'll cover the cost of that. And if there's any damage on the transport, they cover that. The second one, we're actually going to employ that driver. And so he'll be an employee of the Bike School District, so we'll pick up signs and truck not for hire. But what that says is they belong to us, so we assume. I figured it like that. Yeah. I'm glad you asked, because I've been quizzed about that also. A very conscientious business manager. So I talked to Craig Zalesi, our insurance agent today, just to make sure, which I'm glad I called him because I asked him if he remembered my conversation when I saw him at Elkton. He had been fishing all day. I'll just leave it at that. He did not remember that conversation, so I'm glad I did call him. But his comment is, that the arena is going to be on our property, so it is a facility of the Glide School District. It's super important that we make it very clear that this is to be used by the Glide School District. This is not a public facility. But just like all of our facilities, we do have a facility use agreement form and a process. If outside groups want to use our facility, then they would go through that process. Craig has also offered, and he's always been good about this, that if a group comes in, they meet our threshold of insurance writers and stuff, that he wants to look at that just to make sure. And if it's not adequate, he'll intervene with that group and ensure that they have the adequate coverage needed to use our facility. But it's our facility. We have a process outside use it, but really we're building this for our kids. Yep. All right, so here's the beauty and here's what I've experienced coming to Glide. Including you all in this room. Anytime you talk about an arena, people light up. We have what's the guy, the express guy? Don Cook is who we go through for, he's in charge of express. So when we need to hire somebody that we can't find through our sub pool, he found out we were putting a rodeo in. He's a roper. He's like already offered to teach lessons. I'm going down rabbit hole. Everybody I talk to is willing to chip in and help. I believe that we are gonna gain so much synergy on this, that, groups around our area through Brent as our point person, that we want to make sure we hold the standard for our quality of what we want done. But we're looking at like, Ryan Parkhurst, doing the land work, different groups and entities helping, do the prep work. And then when it comes to actual building things, I think we'll have groups that are gonna volunteer to help support that process, which minimizes the financial burden on the district.
Fundraising. But
So I haven't, to be full disclosure, I've been focused on getting here. I firmly believe, I certainly can be wrong. But I firmly believe that's our first step as a district. That's what getting the facility. We can talk about one. I don't, people aren't gonna jump in and start doing stuff unless they see movement on our side. And so my focus has been to purchase the arena, get it here, start the groundwork, get the word out there that we have an arena. Our goal is to have events, have a top-notch facility, like my, school district and community are proud of. And then I believe that's going to build synergy with our, if it doesn't, then we'll look at budgeting for that and going through that process. I really believe that it's going to be a minimal financial impact on this. This initial one is a big hit.
It might be a little bit too underwhelming. But does it make any sense to hold one of the, I mean, I'm looking at the trailers, but no, that's not that much. And does it make any sense to hold on to one of those trailers and have the students build racks for it to all critters? Just the thought.
I don't think these are actually not designed for that.
Never got them on.
Who are you?
yeah, I mean, good things.
Does the arena have pens for the livestock? For livestock storage and prep or, what you call it? Or is that something we're gonna have to look at adding on sooner than later?
That wasn't on my list.
I have one list. I was like, I'm thinking about.
Sorry for interrupting. No, that one has not been on my list. I gotta add it.
Mountain track.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I was actually thinking about. That would be.
I have one more question. Six digits, where are we getting it from?
So, before we even got super serious, we went to, Carolyn. We do have room in the budget, to do that. Capital improvement fund.
That's exactly what this is.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like the, return on investment is incalculable as far as I'm concerned, what this could bring for our community and for our students. It's being a game changer.
I think we start with Lainey Wilson as our first concert. We look to see if we can get Tay-Tay here. I mean, Taylor Swift would want to come and
So maybe. Yeah. good thing.
Okay, only for a minute.
Okay, fine. So we have a lot of things to talk about in the past. Security stuff. Change the door off. Stuff. Table. Stuff. So, change the. A lot of these things we talked about as a different security stuff. Table, the money, it might be. A lot against it,
Oh, I hear you.
saying. Table a bunch of things.
Mhm.
For cost. Wanted to address the security stuff.
But won't we just have more money in the long run by doing this? I feel like we
We're
will.
not a business.
yeah,
This must be-
we're not a for-profit.
Yeah.
So I hear what you're
No,
So
I
let
get it.
me address that a little bit, Dan, and I totally appreciate that. Actually, one of the things I was gonna end on is I really, as we start preparing for a bond, and it looks more and more like we're gonna go for a bond in November of next year. The Purchasing of, how is that gonna look to our voters? And because, to me, things on a bond that are easy sells are things like secure facilities. Is the purchasing of a new arena, give a voter a reason to say, no, oh, look, they have all kinds of money. Why should we give them more money by approving the bond? I think we would need to make sure we do a really good job of talking about really how inexpensive this facility is. I can tell you how much a brand new arena, equivalent to what we're buying would cost, but it's in the $100,000 per each. And so I think it'd be really important to talk about that and continue to tie back the arena to our strategic plan, how it directly impacts not only our student body, but the too. So I do think there's going to be some craft in how we deliver that message out. Because people are going to say the same thing. You're gonna purchase an arena and jeopardize the safety of our kids.
I'll worry about that. Oh, I'm saying, sorry, but I'm security. I thought you meant featured in this. Well, you know, so. Security thing, would be the other piece that I haven't got on my. On the process thing. against it.
Oh, no, I mean,
Super fiscally conservative. We're trouble this thing.
and that is real, right? So that's definitely something that, um, I have to address at the OSBA conference because I'm president of the rural conference, because that is what's happening. However, I think the bonus of this is it can help us be more self-sustaining, through all that. I think we will be one of the lucky districts that actually survive all that. I mean, I'm hoping, that's my vision.
I know we're not a for-profit group, but with this coming in, I mean, we have football game. And there's what, $5 for parking? I don't know where all that might go. I haven't tracked it. But if it goes the way it is, you're looking at about 70,000, 72,000. Has there been any projections that on what kind of fees or revenue would come in from this? How long it would take to recuperate? Yeah, I'm not gonna hold your feet to the fire.
I don't see it recuperating. If we spend on this, what have we never recuperated? What have we educated kids?
Well,
That's-
right, I'm
do
not
that.
trying to belittle that either. I'm trying to kind of go along the lines about the budget and what Dan brought up too. It's like, how long are we gonna miss that money? Put it that way, where we can get it back into the capital improvement.
I think it would depend on how quickly we get the facility in place and, get advertisement out there. So, I have a friend that operates the championship pools. Anyway, Brian Gill, I don't know what he pays to use different facilities around. But I'm sure it's healthy. I could definitely see that organization running an event out here. I think, one of the things Brent talked about was the different food trucks and stuff. If we use a model like the fair does, where vendors come and they pay a percentage of their receipts. I can see us making money that way. We could certainly charge admission to events. If it's our own event, I'm not sure I'm wanting to do that, because right now I'd want to build interest in getting people here. But if it's an outside organization, then I would say we design a contract where we make the money on the parking for people to come. So I just think there's an opportunity to make revenue there. I really appreciate the discussion about the return on investment and how it directly impacts kids. Brent talked about a lot of different things. Some of the things he hasn't talked about was how he envisions tying that facility to several of our current classes that we have right now. With our the graphics class going, design graphic class, a finance class, marketing, a lot of education opportunities for kids to learn stuff in the classroom and put it into practicality of real life by using this facility. So I do think there's an incredible educational value to have a facility like this, with the opportunity to possibly make it.
But I was thinking, I wrote it down here, culinary arts class. To have a concession stand out there. Or, fruits, whatever. That can give them an opportunity too, to
Sheriff's Department.
there's all
does
kinds
that.
of, and John, I'm sorry, really didn't mean that, I wasn't trying to get that. The money you put it, there's others that are gonna be out there thinking like that, and so I wanted to have something. For me, that doesn't matter. What you were saying about the kids, that matters the most. And the opportunities this is gonna bring is fantastic. And as a, I'll say a math and science nerd in high school, I was a closet, really wanted to weld, I really wanted to work on engines. It just wasn't enough time in the day. So I think there's others like me that are, I'll say, oh, I want to say, closet kid, picker. You know, that we're born, and so I think we're gonna get more than just those folks. It's gonna ignite the school. That might have been a better place for it.
It's definitely a unique, educational opportunity. I mean,
Yeah.
so many different new, avenues, I think, of, that it actually engage the thing that our community is all about.
There's a huge junior rodeo presence in Douglas County. It's private. But I know my family in Sutherland that I mentioned that we're looking at putting that in wide. And before I could probably get that out, they said if you put an arena right, I think it's coming wide. There might even be opportunities to still. Yeah, there you go.
Right? Awesome. We do. So if we're,
So,
yeah, if we're done discussing. All those in favor of, purchasing the Glide School District Arena package as presented? Aye.
hi,
All right. So 4 with the ayes, 1 abstaining. Passes.
My votes, based on whether.
Oh,
It's a great idea.
totally get it. I just wanted to clarify that it was,
It's a name.
oh, nay. Okay, I just wasn't sure if it was abstaining.
we don't all have to agree.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Democracy.
Have to vote. where you-
That's right.
Yeah, that's appreciated.
And we'll still like you, even though you got that one.
Wow,
Darn-
that hurts.
darn
That
straight we
hurts.
will.
Wow.
There's at least one thing I like about it.
We got-
I'm,
I love the vote. I continue to think, no, you lost the one, I'm sorry.
yeah,
It's not.
It's not the same.
yeah.
It is.
All
Great
right.
discussion.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna be super quick. I've talked a lot. I just wanted, to reaffirm that positiveness in the district is continuing to rise. You heard from our students today about the cool things that are happening. I was gonna have Tracy talk to you about, we have a student ran diversity club and they chose to honor, Native American, I keep saying native, but it's not indigenous. Gosh, all right, Hispanic Heritage Month. Oh, man, I just keep getting that confused. Regardless, they chose to prepare a culinary dish that they put together. They worked with a kitchen staff. They did a tasting. I can't pronounce what the name of the dish was, but apparently it was really good because they made a big pot of it and it disappeared. And rumor has it that Mr. Dwight even liked it too. So,
Oh,
so anyway, lots of cool stuff going on. Our football team didn't play quite the way they wanted to at homecoming, but I will tell you that homecoming was an incredible positive event for our community. You couldn't find a place to park, even though our team wasn't doing well. The cheering continued through the whole game. Our cheerleaders, our senior night, our homecoming court. our little cheerleaders, our wannabes. It was just a really positive night. The bonfire was super positive afterwards, so even though we lost, it was well attended. There's just a lot of positives that happened. And I know everybody wanted to win, but sometimes it's not always about wins. I just wanted to put that.
Okay, financial report.
So it's been kind of a long night, so you guys have a report. We're doing well right now. And I'm happy to say that the auditors are then asking me for things, so I hope that makes everything reporting together. And I think it's usually December or January that you have some good success of. I think that went well. So I hope. Thank you.
Okay, individual board member report.
I just wanted to echo, what Robert said just about the football game. It was amazing. And again, I just, whole community. Charlie, you didn't mention Dan, but they were so, I mean, they were so into it and
The
The-
flag was.
yeah,
awesome.
so again, part of, I will also say, it was an amazing thing to see the horseback rider coming in with American flag. People had tears in their eyes from holding myself. It was so wonderful. And again, I think that to our previous vote, it does represent the picture of the community and that's, and I told Robert, like, if we can do that every time, it was incredible. And I had never seen that at another high school football game. So whoever thought about that, it huge kudos because it was, and I don't remember who did it right, but she. Charlie. So, great job. It was a really great, yeah, it was good. Also, shout out for the senior auction. I couldn't go because I had work, but my husband went and I heard it was huge. He didn't even get food because they took his ball out. So, yeah. That I heard was great. And I got lots of feedback about how high some of the desserts went. So again, people showing up and really helping support this. It's great. Also, Tammy, I just want to shout out again for the elementary school with these events like today, which I was really sad to miss. That is just showing the bringing. So this one, how it's amazing to be able to blend cultures, talking about, what, the indigenous land and tribes here and bringing that together for students to see. So, kudos to you.
I'm glad to hear about how much student involvement in planning for the new arena. And, I don't know if we have GIS. Kids or what classes are. I need to come by. And, anyway, but, involvement with them for the designing of, maps and all that stuff. I think that's, it just goes so beyond building something and bringing something in. The more we can wrap up, I'm a holistic, I believe in holistic learning. Meaning that, English and math and science and everybody else get all together and tie it in because then I think it has more meaning to the student that way. So bringing them in on the basis of this, they're gonna have ownership of that. The more students that they're gonna have ownership of that, and that's gonna be long term. Long term. So I just wanna say again, great job, Brent, Robert. Thanks for putting this together. It's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, I'm kind of, the homecoming deal, I'm a little upset about actually. So, homecoming weekend is deer season. Huh? How would I know? I was clear over Snake River taking my wife hunting. So, yeah, well, no, it was somebody else's fault to schedule it that weekend. It should have been the week before or the week after.
Actually, I think it was
That's-
scheduled for later than once, but somebody canceled that. Yeah,
Yeah,
we had
yeah.
to move homecoming,
Yep.
so we get to blame some, yeah.
Yeah,
Read.
but that is,
Grateful.
that, okay, somebody's fault, but yeah. Had to make my wife. She got a nice buck, so.
Saw that.
Yes, that was about all, but I am tickled about the arena. I think it'd be a good deal. Maybe. Why, we'll teach it. I got a dozer, excavator. Couple excavators. Yeah. Get started. Okay. Perfect. All right.
Hopefully it's great. Sorry about your luck. What are we, what are we gonna do about, Janet's money for? Are we gonna do anything to,
So
there's
that,
somebody else, so we need to, I'm suggesting, how can we promote Janet for her position? Um, Benefit from her being the state
absolutely,
would benefit.
absolutely.
So what can we do to advocate for her?
And that's a good question. And, sounds like Robert would like to say something. Okay, also, I believe that, I don't know who else is going, but, you're gonna be at the road show. Yeah, so Tuesday, next Tuesday is the legislative roadshow. That everyone that's in our region is invited to, or whoever goes. And I will certainly try to talk about there and encourage folks, because that'll be voting members that will be attending that. And I will also see if I can, get that out with the rural caucus, and I also will be at the OSBA convention, so I will see if I can pimp that out, maybe just under us as glide and not, I don't know that I can't necessarily as the president of the rural caucus say that, but, I'll find out. So. Awesome,
Great for us and great for the state.
so
We
great.
wanna Run for it.
He is from Roseburg, yeah, that other. person.
I didn't recognize. I thought it was. Yeah. Well, yeah. So vote Janet. Get the votes.
Okay. Okay, thank you for bringing that up, because that's so important. Right there with you. We want you, girl. It's gotta be you. Anything else that you want to? Oh. Well, that was already a little bit of what I was gonna cover, was talk about the roadshow. And, OSBA, annual conference, which is coming up, in November, 7th, 8th, 9th. Where I will be doing a workshop on how to, advocate at the legislative level for rural issues, so. Anybody's bored on Friday, 10:45 in the morning. Come on down. Okay, I think that's it. I also just want to say, on a side note that, the arena thing is, I can't say enough good stuff about it. It's also a personal, sure some of you know that my mom was super involved, in rodeo and Wasatch and, all of those things up in Washington. And I had a rodeo and I just back with her this summer. So this is, I've seen firsthand what this, what these kind of activities can mean to kids, the involvement, and how it can just turn lives around. And, my mom was really excited when I first told her about this idea. And she's a Blight alumni and she was thrilled at the idea of something like this happening. So. Yep. All right, our next meeting, November 19th, 6 p.m. I think with all that, meeting adjourned.